get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place so calling. WB. Get up, make every day count up. Wasted people, do your part, play a role. Get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just calling. WB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place no calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show, my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, this the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will feel happen and I got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place no calling. WB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place no calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show, my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, this the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will feel happen and I got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place no calling. WB. Get up, make every day count up. Wasted people, do your part, play a role. Get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just calling. WB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place no calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show, my people. Belize.
Good morning, Belize. Welcome to the Monday morning edition of the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's Monday, the 27th of April, 2026. And wherever you are this morning, we hope that you're off to a beautiful start. Here on Creme Radio and XTV, I'm Mose. I'm hosting today, and we want to welcome all the listeners, viewers, everybody online, those getting us via apps and via simulcast coverage. You know how this works, you know what this is. This is Belize's premier morning conversation, but before we get there, how we to do? Alright, we hope your health's good, your energy is high, vibrations positive, and of course in our interest, we hope on the morning, well organized, got room for we have room for you. In fact, this room was designed for you right up until 9. It's the morning room for any and everybody to join in. If you've got something to say, And we are ready to go, but we do have the preliminaries, so we got some morning news for you. Before we got the morning news served, we've got the morning forecast, weather forecast from the National Meteorological Service. We've got forecaster Crystal Rosales all lined up.
Good morning. Fair, hot, and mostly dry weather continues today. And in the 24-hour forecast, skies will be mostly sunny today and then clear to partly cloudy tonight. Little or no rain is expected. And then high temperatures will reach around 89 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 98 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and then 86 degrees Fahrenheit in the hills. Please note that a heat alert is in effect, and residents, especially those living inland, are advised to stay hydrated and avoid outdoor activities as much as possible, especially during the afternoon hours. And then low temperatures for tonight will reach around 78 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 72 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and then 66 up in the mountains. Winds over the open sea will be from the east to southeast at 10 to 20 knots, with sea conditions being choppy to moderate. And then high tides occur at 7:19 this morning and at 7:46 this evening. Low tides at 1:35 this afternoon, then at 1:45 tomorrow morning. The moon will rise at 3:02 this afternoon, then set at 3:21 tomorrow morning, while sunset is at 6:11 this evening and sunrise at 5:28 tomorrow morning. And now for the extended forecast. Generally fair conditions will continue, with showers being isolated, if any, for Tuesday and Tuesday night. Next, we have the fire risk forecast. The risk for brush or forest fires will remain moderate to high as hot and dry conditions continue into tomorrow. And finally, for the sargassum update, the major influx of sargassum is expected to continue across coastal destinations during the next few days. And this has been this morning's weather report from the National Meteorological Service.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989. Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
Morning news. Latest word coming in Monday morning was that the membership of the Belize Bus Association would strike this morning. The majority of their runs are in the north. They also have some in the west operated by the BBOC. After the Ministry of Transport announced an increase in fares Friday morning, the BBA operators claimed that the pricing tables were not shown to them beforehand and that the list did not reflect what was agreed at a meeting Thursday. They argued that what was being given in the long runs was being taken away in short stops. In protest, BBA representatives did not show up for a scheduled meeting Saturday morning with the Minister, Honorable Louis Zabani, and CEO Chester Williams in Bamopan to discuss short stops and village runs. Instead, they issued a release stating that they did not support the large increase in rates, which they believe the commuters cannot afford, and requested a subsidy so that operators pay no more than $9.50 per gallon. The ministry then held a press conference after 4 p.m. in Belize City Saturday, where the minister announced that a subsidy would be granted, but details will be disclosed today by the Prime Minister.
I will close with this important announcement. So after the BBA did not show up this morning, and instead, about an hour later, we got the press release, I have spoken to Prime Minister John Briceño, and I've also spoken to Deputy Prime Minister Cordell Hyde, and we've been in consultations with cabinet colleagues. The philosophy of our government is to serve our people. We are the People's United Party administration, now in government to serve all people, all commuters. And that's why the NBC said that they would not increase the rates, and it doesn't matter who's riding the bus. Belizeans are riding the bus. And so the Prime Minister, in his wisdom and collectively with cabinet members, have agreed to, in accordance with our philosophy, since the BBA is saying that they don't wish for the rates and that they reject the rates, then we will remove the rates. First of all, the rates have not been, it was a process to gazette and all that. But since the NBC is not raising the rates, and now the BBA has joined the NBC in agreeing to not increase the rates, then we don't need to increase the rates. So then that's off the table. We're going no increase in rates to our people. And instead, they're asking for a subsidy. And so the Prime Minister has agreed, Deputy Prime Minister, Cabinet colleagues, that we will work on a subsidy for the BBA. Because it is not about the BBA per se, or the NBC per se. It's about the commuters. And if this is what needs to be done to ensure that our commuters can get from point A to point B, then so shall it be. The Prime Minister will be making a statement on Monday about the specifics of that, among other things.
Things continued unraveling on Sunday, and the ministry announced in the afternoon that village operators would also benefit from the subsidy. The BBA subsequently publicized a letter written to the Deputy Prime Minister who had been trying to mediate the issue and demanded that the ministry include Belize City runs and all village runs, and that the subsidy would compensate operators for any pump price increase above $10. They gave an ultimatum of 1 hour, which expired with no response. Hence the report that they will suspend operations today. At the Transport Press Conference Saturday, Minister Louis Abane referenced loss in revenue for the government due to what he described as a reduction in the fuel tax.
It has taken a toll also on government's revenues, because to mitigate the high costs of world prices, government has made adjustments to how much it taxes on the fuel that is consumed in Belize. We were informed last time that government, because of reducing those rates, and hopefully we can have a more precise explanation from the Ministry of Finance on the exact numbers, but it's been in the vicinity of a loss of income of $80 million already. And I believe with the next, this next adjustment of prices, that another 10 million or so has been lost, because government again has adjusted the taxes to try to buffer the impact on the entire Belizean community.
As has been explained by those in the know, as fuel prices increase, so does the government's revenue, because it is ad valorem taxation. The Minister of Transportation also informed that while they await the arrival of the first new e-buses and await the full rollout of e-buses in the next 2 to 3 years for the National Bus Company, they intend to obtain new diesel buses to ensure adequate services provided.
I can share with you that the National Bus Company has been able to procure financing to buy new, better buses that will replace some of the older buses in the next few weeks, because that is a problem.
Not
right?
E-buses.
No, I'm talking diesel buses that between now and the time when the e-buses are arriving, the e-buses will be arriving, as I said, from the end of this year towards the end of next year. And then the following year is we're talking about building terminals, etc. But in the meantime, our people deserve to have reliable service. So what has been magnified as all of a sudden buses starting to break down under the National Bus Company, as if though there have never been any news reports about buses breaking down before. When you've seen news reports of buses catching fire, all kind of thing before NBC. We recognize and we know that that's the greatest weakness right now, and so it has taken some time. Financing does not come automatically, but financial institutions have seen the numbers already that the NBC is putting forth and have the confidence in the company, and now we'll be able to procure better diesel buses that will be alleviating that problem.
Zabani denied that the NBC has been charging 19 cents per mile for its runs. As of midnight Friday, the price of diesel at the pumps increased to an unprecedented $15.90 per gallon, going up by $1.41 from $14.57 per gallon. The fuel last increased by a whopping $2.50 some weeks ago. Premium remains at $14.61, while regular is at $13.82. There was a fatal traffic accident on the Thomas Vincent Ramos Highway after 7 Saturday night. A motorcyclist crashed into a National Bus Company bus and succumbed to his injuries at the scene near Santa Rosa Village. The bus had damages to the left front portion. The cyclist was flung several feet away. And that ends our morning news update. We take a small break. When we come back on the other side, we'll be open for conversation right here on Creme Radio and on XTV.
Informative, accurate, current information. Crem's newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
I didn't know anything about honey or bees. I was really awed when I opened the hive box and I saw there was just not bees. There is wax, there is propolis, there is pollen, there is the entire education of what is going on inside the hive. And I was like, how come nobody in Belize have ever done this before?
The farm produces 75% of what we consume. We were introduced to instant coffee, so we're growing our own food, but we're drinking instant coffee. So I said, it's time to introduce our own coffee as part of our food security.
My brother, he used to work at a butterfly farm, and he was in charge of breeding them. One day, when he was in the butterfly cage, he saw that they die naturally and they still look beautiful. And that is when he got the idea to make the butterfly art collages.
I used to do cakes from home. I started just giving them away, but I needed to buy my stuff back and I started selling them. So that's what started it, and I used Facebook as my means of advertisement and started getting customers.
I've always been fascinated with gemstones. It's been something that I've been collecting for more than a decade. It's just the fascination of how they come out from the earth, just different minerals and elements that combine. They just form these beautiful colors, and it's so fascinating.
Nokche Adventure Park came about from the birth of COVID. Everything was shut down in the tourism industry, and we decided, I want to do something to help the community. We got 10 bikes, 10 ATVs, and we were just doing ATV tours at that time. Shortly after, we were approached by the cruise lines. We agreed to work with them, and from then it just started growing.
The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. My husband is a woodworker. He attended the meeting. He was given a space here, and that's how basically I got involved in the business.
To me, Atlantic Bank was the best partner for us to team up with.
Having access to financing, change our business in productivity.
Once I had Atlantic Bank support with the finances, it was smooth sailing from there.
They saw the vision and they were willing to be patient.
Atlantic Bank's e-commerce system has accelerated the growth for my business.
Now I can make payments and receive payments online, and this has made my job much easier.
I don't have to run to town and use fuel and the other expenses.
They were willing to be patient with us as we grew our business, and that meant the world.
I sit and sip my good cup of coffee and do payments.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country. bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progresso, Belize City, Orange Rock, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
A Mandala notice. Advertisers, sellers, and readers are advised that there will be no online Tuesday issue of the newspaper for Tuesday, April 28th. There will only be the Friday issue, which will hit the streets on Thursday, April 30, 2026. Happy Labor Day from the management and staff of Cremandala.
All right, welcome back. This is WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Mose Hyde hosting on this Monday morning, the 27th of April, 2026. And we have now completed the preliminaries, which means we can get down to the business of a conversation. That's what we do weekday mornings. We say, come together, make a reason, make we hear it out. And we've got a phone line right here on our table to facilitate your participation. The telephone number is 280-5848. So take the time out. If you've never done it before, give me a call and tell me what you're thinking about. Best you just talk it out. And let's hear your views and thoughts and concerns. Weekday mornings, Monday to Friday. In this case, Monday to Thursday, because Friday is going to be a holiday. But yeah, regular weekdays, we are on, ready, available. We, of course, at XTV and Creme Radio, we've been tracking the news coming out of primarily the Philip Golson Highway to the best of our knowledge. There's been significant commute disruption this morning as the independent bus owners have thrown down the gauntlet this morning after failed back and forth between last week, Thursday, Friday, up into yesterday. And so there's been significant disruption going on the Philip Golson Highway. We have reports and video footage which have been reported by our TV and radio news team. Our news editor, the great Marisol Amaya, has been on it since early in the morning. And if you want to make sure that you don't miss updates, the one way to do that, let me just sneak in a plug, is to make sure that you join our WhatsApp news channel. Okay, so just look for it, XTV news channel, and the news comes to you in the comforts and at your convenience all day and night. Those reports, once there is something happening, you don't have to go looking for it, it comes to you. It's kind of like really fancy limousine service with the news, and so we want to kind of promote that. Get the XTV WhatsApp news channel. All right, it's another way that you can get our services and get the content that we work on all the time. We have our first call of the morning. Krem, good morning, WUB.
Good morning, Brother Mose.
Good morning.
Good morning, my friend.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, you know, this weekend I never privileged to read the Mandela newspaper for last week, man. But, you know, I want to get hold of it today. You know, when you're reading the Mandela on a relaxed Sunday, you know, this is vital, what I'm saying, I guess, you know. If I have to understand, if I have to understand the all-time valid information by the various writers, very good writers with the press. But you know, my friend, Sundays in my neighborhood, you know, the peace of mind is in constant disturbance, like every or most other neighborhoods. I don't know, outside Belize City. You said you have them eaters, man, 5 o'clock Sunday morning when you wake up and you want to read, put on your news. Then you hear the mufflers and the horns then, and the motorcycle, the beep, 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 beep. You know, we never learned for toot nor tap horn, my friends, from the beginning, from the inception. Poor Belize, man. We used to honk hand. Honk hand. Man, the hand enough for like, well, I say, let off, like one valve for let off steam about failures of others, man. Aye, man, poor we. Man, the hand that for one purpose and one purpose only, to advise others of your approach or position. Beep, beep, watch out bike. Beep, beep, watch out bicycle. Pop, pop. When you honk the hand, like if you park somewhere and somebody do reverse and you feel like you hit you, then you honk the hand. Pop! Because, man, if you're not doing that, maybe he not the because we not perfect. We don't know it's perfect. Me not perfect. I slip up sometimes. Because I'm not perfect. You see, this is the position, we never get the legal description of the hand and one warning instrument. but we use it for hobby. Pivot, what do you want? Papa, what's up, dude? You know, it's a pity, you know. You say, that's why I tell myself, please, me, Ernesto Torres, will never blame road users if you the walk, if you the ride, if you the drive, because you have been misled from the beginning. How you and tell, come on come to one show and say like this, the pedestrians have the right of way. You know whether initiative the pedestrian get hold of in mind? I could walk across and you have to stop and give me way. Or I could walk middle street. I got the right of way. It's a pity. But again, as I said, I no blame the wrongs of the 75 hour class. Enjoy your drink, the brand Mose. I would have said the 75% of wrongs, all right, that what we do, I will never blame it on the road users, but those who not do or never did and discontinue doing their homework. That's all I have to say. I'm going to listen the one that Michael said the calendar. Tuesday I'm going to call and talk to you about this thing with the bus day. Man, bend down to the demands of the bus owners association, and I exactly what they do. You see, it remind me of one host that one certain show tell me, Mr. Torres, then look forward for here where you got for sale, and then implement your ideas. What a serious matter. Anyway, Brother Mose, take care of yourself.
All right, brother. So WB, Wake Up Billy's Morning Vibes. Excuse me. Just like that, you could call in, respect to Brother Torres, jumping in there. The telephone number is 280-5848. That's the direct line for you to be a part of the show. And again, as we were reporting this morning, the tension between the Ministry of Transport, the government of Belize, and the Belize Bus Associations has escalated with the bus owners throwing on the gauntlet. Primarily, to the best of the reports we have, a lot of disruption has happened on the Philip Gosson Highway. But we have a call. Krem, good morning, WB.
Morning, Krem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The thumbs up you up for everything.
Yes, my boy.
You think we have different type of Belizean in our country? Like different status or different levels?
Yeah, for sure.
Higher Belizean and the other Belizean?
For sure.
All right. I'll read that. The reason I say this right now because I watch how the bus company and they block the road, that Tower Hill. And they block the road at this scale. And the government, they negotiate to try preempt that from happening. And my question is, the ordinary man, where they buy gas right now, and the gas reach $15 and $16 a gallon, we know it take lick to it.
Absolutely.
When you raise the price of the bus fare, down the ordinary man, they pay the building. When you give the man the run, or give him a concession, down the ordinary man, they take the lick then. I mean, I just ask.
Yes, Brother David, I don't know why. I think if the bus owners, this group of bus owners, they deal with for their survival.
Well, I make you know that we at sector and we at the tourism, we get ready for warm up too.
Yeah.
Because everybody who they take lick, we they take lick. We they take lick in the fact that we don't give up prices for our services. Sometimes a year in advance, 2 years in advance. And when gas reach $16 or $15 a gallon, why we not help everybody? Why we not help the boss man? Well, other countries, they help everybody. Everybody need help. I got under the impression that you don't have an idea or not think that the poor man offers the poor man money endless. The poor man, you know, when you talk about the rich man, When I talk about the man who got $9,000 and could get ultra VIP tickets and everything there. We talk about the regular, ordinary man that we pay the bills. And I watch all of the simple around with the bus association and the simple around that one. The whole country need help, Mr. Man. You don't want tourism, you want we. And I hear nothing from the Minister of Tourism about this catastrophe. It's a catastrophe. When fuel is $16 a gallon, and we in the industry, we burn fuel, the most fuel, our lifeline of our industry. You have to burn fuel to go for a boat. You have to burn fuel to pick up them people, you have to have AC. When you park, right now, you protest, you have to get AC to run with the EI. So we have thing where we have to run AC, we have to have the most luxurious of everything, and we don't get no help too. But I know I'll be selfish and say only the two operators to get help. This is our golden time for the government to be talented, open on the light bulbs, stop being stupid, and help the whole country. Come up with a plan where I help all the way. One thing cross the board simpleton because they got no sense to help them out. One plan will help the whole country. Why is that so difficult for you to do? Why is it you could give them money here, you could do this here, you could have this there, and you can't come up with a simple plan for easy gas paying for the whole country? I don't have nothing else to say. Have a blessed day, Mose.
All right, David, give thanks. Yeah, the telephone number, telephone number at 280-5848, that's the live line. And, okay, maybe take this call. Krem, good morning, WB.
Morning, General.
Good morning, sir.
Are they with Mr. David? Are they with the bus people, Remember, I always kind of ask when the Elysian people are wake up. Maybe this is our new wake up call. Maybe because the government tends to know how to shut up people real quick. They want to negotiate, they want to clear the road, and when they don't clear the road, they want to give you what they feel like still. You know how that goes, Mose, because we in a negotiation with their people to see others. They beg we to release our containers because of health reasons, and because we have our heart, we release the containers and the work gone on normal, and then they come for push where they want them to each road. See what happened at Belize? Belizean people just stay in a survival mode. Even when gas reach $20, my brother, Belizean afraid to come out because majority of the people, they get handled by the government, they work for the government, so they are afraid. And I keep on saying it, most of the union leaders, all of the union members, most union, the one of the best presidents, are not afraid to say it. Because when you say we are stand, we will stand. When you say get ready for Armageddon, you get ready for it. And I wish you come back and you try something, because I tell you, that's a matter of time before the stevedores they shut down the port too. That's a matter of time, because up to now,
I think I think, Brother Marlon, I think your call, Brother David call, aligned with what we've tried to say here for weeks, is that we have entered what we would call we have entered a certified crisis, and in my view, what the big failure of government is that they have not gone into crisis mode. And so what you're dealing with here is that absolutely you can't fault the bus owners to try to fight for their survival. You can't fight any group. You can't, obviously, you listen to what Fektab said, you listen to our brothers on the waterfront. Collectively, you have your your own experience, but your experience is happening within the same environment. All of us are in the same pool, and the temperature is getting hot, and the government has been slow. And I don't know what's going on, how they are making their calculations. I think when I think somebody mentioned last week that, listen, we're not talking about we're not talking about what we call the day-to-day struggles and pain where we face and all the different things are wrong. We're talking about something we come on top of that, and where we got our full crisis, and so when you have diesel go that 1590. So
what happened was also to the higher ups, like when the man asked if there are people who are higher ups, the higher ups not feel it because they could go to the gas station, go find the fuel. You understand? They get exempted for a phone bill, all kind of things. So they don't really feel nothing. They are not feeling anything. And Belizean people, we are in a daze because we are just too, I don't know if we're too friendly, if we're too afraid what will happen, but then what will happen next year, what will happen middle of this year?
Yeah.
You know where I always hate with my country? Look on La Ruta Maya. We stand up for that. We stand up for it. You make them tell you right now they want shut down Carnival. I bet you they stand up for that. But they are not. They know what stand up for higher gas price. They not stand up for higher products in the store cost. You understand? Lots of things they don't want to stand up, and we have we own work anyway. Like for example, back to my comrade, the stevedores. We have to rise. We don't get a raise of salary for 1981. That's 44 years, bedroom. You understand? But again, like what I said, sometimes we have to stop. We have to stop. The DTV minister, my bedroom, but he not care where you got to say, Mr. David. He not an egotistical person, sorry to say for the year, but you have to call out their bedroom up to me. They only had a concert weekend, you think they care? We don't have time, find out how much they bring Tyrus Riley. They don't know understand the kind of money where everybody just give away. You understand? Our left for me is that because I don't want to get too riled up.
All right. The WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's 13 minutes after 7 o'clock. Telephone number is 280-5848. And we're showing you images from earlier this morning that have been shared with our news team. We have up online, and of course, again, a plug for our XTV channel, WhatsApp news channel, where you can get this to your phone notification. You get these stories quickly. We have a call. Krem, good morning, WB. Krem, good morning, WB.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, I. Yes, man, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, brother. We're hearing you, man.
Yeah, hello, Mose.
Yes, man, we're hearing you, my brother. You're on.
Yeah, Martin, Mose.
Yes, my brother.
All right. Whether the subsidy, where the national bus company they get?
I don't know what
they have to put that out there too, my brother. So that this thing up here, that the same subsidy where the national bus company they get, the same thing the BBA they get, the same treatment.
Yes, my brother.
Because I believe that we're on level playing field to deal with right here. That's my belief. You have to put out everything on the table. Because if you tell me the NBC not the raise price, right? Then could afford it. That means some kind of niceness then they get, my brother. Put everything on the table. You don't tell we are giving you subsidy. You could raise price this and that for the BBA, and you know they tell me where they happen for the next side. This has to be a level playing field. So all we could benefit, and we even have to get the commuters in mind. And this is the right thing to happen. Then they try pressure the BBA to knock them out of business so they could control everything, because NBC can't operate for 65%. They have to get up to 90-95% for them be operational and profitable, viable. I tell you, so put out what then they get NBC, put out all the niceness where then they get. That's the way I want to put out on the team. Not tell me we know the raise price, because by the time you know the raise price, you get something nice under the table. Because you have to raise price in at the time, yeah, if you're not getting nothing. Definitely have to raise price.
All right.
So put everything on the table, then you could talk to me. Because the minute sign in, then I like my tomb, you know. You see one tomb paint up good outside. Look good, but inside it's rotten. That's the way it happen. They're worthless. I know them try pressure them brothers, and I don't worry about no politics thing. All of them, politics is a politics. Politics is everything in a belief. But this is a bread and butter issue.
Yeah, well, I think it's.
I drive belief.
I think
so
you.
I know them brothers the technique.
I think.
Commuters the technique.
Yeah.
And the bottom line, who pay for everything at the end of the day? We.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, but I think we're having some.
All right, do take care, brother. More have a great day.
Yeah, man, do the same, birds. Again, the number 2805848, and always when you call, you take the priority. So feel comfortable, right? Interrupt, you know. When you know they interrupt, there's no such thing. You just take your turn, your rightful turn. All right, jump near the conversation, and just important for me at this moment. We know that the situation right now that between where we occupy all of the focus or the coverage one be, well, things have escalated, which we understand. It's if you have to try and move from the north into town, you know, this is a significant story. But we're gonna call Krem. Good morning.
Morning, Mose, for the day. Bless up Krem every time.
Yes, sir.
Okay, two things I want to do right quick. One, I want to pick up the play section here in complex field for the responsible for putting that in. It's a good thing because kids are going to love it and also all the way to DCL Park, right? And hopefully if they could put a swimming pool somewhere along the basketball court area and charge kids them maybe 50 cents to swim there, because a lot of kids.
Whipper?
The field behind complex building.
Okay.
With football field there, right there where they put the exercise machines and stuff.
Yeah.
They put one anything where say, you know, where the kids go slide through and all of that. And the very first day, man, all up to about 9-10 o'clock at night, the kids and the parents, they also play upon it. So it was a beautiful thing. Whoever responsible, maybe they're better. Maybe there's somebody responsible for the recreation part of St. Martin's produced that. So that was a good thing. What they would probably need is, because you have a lot of kids behind there, is somewhere on the ground you put a swimming pool, maybe the size of something like backup with a slide in it so the kids can go and maybe they could charge them 50 cents to come in and swim. You know what I'm saying? They don't got a lot of money, so you can't charge them $1 to come swim. But it's regulated the time and how long you stay in the water so other kids will have access to it, something like that. Put that on the books, Mr. Colonel Hyde. For that responsible, maybe you could put a public swimming pool, even in St. Martin's area. But that said, thanks to that part there, back to the gas part, right? Because that are taxi driver and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. It is affecting me, right? But I'm not the only person. Well, I want to tell the people responsible that all the government ministries, all the government vehicles there, when we know this, and we know people in South Carolina use well, at their own disposal, the use of the fuel. Some of the police vehicles sometimes they park up and the engine will run all half an hour while they idle up and laugh up. And then they go right back and pull up again. So all of these waste is the way waste fuel throughout the ministry. Because in the fight they don't want to give concession to the bus drivers and the commuters them. So we have to start cleaning up in-house first when it comes to the fuel consumption for all. Every last one of the government vehicles who have private government vehicle because you're a CEO and you're this and that one we could have their own vehicle and driver. There's a lot of waste going on with that too because you could get fuel, pull it up, do what you want to do and go back and pull up again on taxpayers, on the back of taxpayers. So So Minister of Transport or whoever responsible for signing off on the fuel in this country, you need to tighten up your game on how the fuel is being dispensed throughout the ministry. Put a quota upon it that way they know that they can't abuse it for the week or for the month. With that said, everything other than that, you know, we need as Belizeans, we don't say we're going with this war pathway and that. These are the things with the trickle down and the effect. You know, the Middle East have a more serious problem, it's devastation. But the little things like the fuel prices would have gone, you know, food prices would have gone, transportation costs would have gone. It is because of all of that. So we need to stop the wasteful spending and believe because we don't know in the next month or two how tough they want to get. These people are saying that it could take 5-10 years before some certain country recover. And we don't want the country, we done it too bad already, so we think what happened to we have straight suffer all the time. The reason, and the bless up unity, all the youth man, and hold it down, G. Because they don't see what they go on, you know, when they kill up each other and you know, they get no better for we.
You're not a taxi driver, right?
Bless up, man. Bless up, man.
Hello.
Alright.
Hello. Alright. I don't know why people like, you know, they hear me this morning. We want to ask the brother some questions, but so we got report that the road is blocked at Guinea Grass, cut off, and also on the PG highway from what reports coming into us. All right, yeah. So it's obviously a very intense morning out on the highway for commuters, and the situation has escalated. We had the conversation. We had the bus owners here with us, but to just focus in on that and not to put this in the context of the economic crisis, because when I hear that the price of diesel goes up to $15.90, yes, there is an instant connection to what it means for me personally, and that is natural. We all have that experience. So the vehicle I presently drive, that diesel, so I immediately know, oh my gosh, like that, just painful. Like you're seeing a gas station or you see a needle a drop, all you feel that you're just under heavy distress. So there is that personal experience going on. But there's also a more important consideration whereby you have to think like how an economist would think about what the implications are whenever that thing go up, what the implications are for people on the margins. Important that it, okay, we have on call. Krem, good morning.
Brother Mose, Tuesday on the call and said that when you have increase in everything and produce on prices on everything, all right? And from the moment it changed from the status of permanency or stableness, and like what it happened to my friend, I said that we must put in gear reliable ability to react at such disturbing force. This is the way they happen to the deal. The force, so that will not collapse.
So, but at tourist make I use your call for just squeezing this point of your consideration. When we've gone through this historic, painful thing called the pandemic, and it was not perfect, but there was always a sense and a consciousness with everybody were involved that with the inner something where they push everything in a red. All alarms they go off. And we immediately understood who vulnerable amongst we. So while I get COVID, you get COVID, and we got through it, we try to survive through it, we know all the economic implications, we also knew that the highest priority is that we have vulnerable. And so we start to think about people who are the elderly, people who have certain preconditions, and we immediately have a consciousness of we have to try to protect this population because we're in the middle. We are in the middle of a crisis. This is a little bit more deceptive because all we think about when we see the fuel go up, the primary consideration is always, well, for the person when they drive the vehicle. So the first line of people who are going to deal with that economic hardship, that people where they produce and people where they drive. But that is not. It doesn't stop there, because there's a pass on, and so it's like a tsunami, right? When a tsunami is out in the ocean, they say you barely know that one monstrous wave. You know a tsunami when it start to hit more shallow areas, when it starts to get near to shore. Now all the energy start to pile up, and it's when it comes near to shore that now it becomes the monster that we have in our mind of what a tsunami is. Well, that is exactly how an economic distress like this works its way through the population. So it comes through the fuel pump, but now it's going to start to hit the more shallow areas. The commuters are one level. Your tour operators are one level, but we probably hit more shallow areas that when enterprise and when producers start to do their calculations and start figure, well, since producing costs has gone up on us, we have to start to cut other expenses, which would involve looking at how you want to say your people will have unemployment tick up. Then you end up having a situation where the price will move away to where you go and buy things at the market, where you go and start to buy things in the food store. Then now it's going to all end up on the people who now are going to be the most vulnerable in your society. So when you hear the price go up to $15.90 for diesel, that's a calamitous situation, and there should be an energy that represents that. We should be experiencing a kind of, where they say preparation, one kind of a leadership where we reflect that we are in calamitous waters. When you don't know when this stops, when you don't know how high this is going to go, then at what point do you determine that you're in goddamn emergency mode and you come off a chill pill and you come off a everything good and everything? Get the hell out of chill pill mode and realize that we are in a economic emergency. And yes, the bus situation is just, like you know what it is, Mr. Torres. When your vehicle overheat. Yes. And your vehicle overheat, and if you manage to get to a gas station early enough, it's much better than if you wait for say all kind of smoke and water spray out of the radiator because of the temperature. You understand? And that what is worse is that once you make your vehicle overheat to that point, even when you get the water can't cool it off. You put the water in the vehicle, kick the water right back out. The slow reaction to understanding the magnitude of what is happening and what will happen to us with what has taken place here, meaning things beyond our control. Things are beyond our control insofar as we don't control who go to war and when they go to war. But you got a responsibility to create one climate in your country where make we understand we're gone into emergency mode. Because you can't just say, well, the pain just won't fall to those who make the pain go with it won't go. You can't just leave it like that. Because what we know is that the pain always fall down to the people who could least afford it. That they all of the dumping of the pain going. So you can't just sit down and say, oh well, we just want, because that is why the COVID, there was a consciousness. There was a conscious. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I would not block the roads. Because I know all the way use the bus, my brother, my friend. I would not block the road. I would stop the run. Because yes, holistic, I agree, but you first you stop the run. And if they not concede, then you block the road. Stage by stage, you reach the golden age. Because what happened today, a lot of people where they wait for their workers or they leave them all, that's where they come from up north, etc., they punish. They leave people with nice tacos or orange walk and things like this. So, I strongly feel like government should observe when they call the word observe, that
absorb.
Then they make what 280 million, 280 million. Man, just cut down 3 million, man.
But a tourist.
To the show, very interesting show this morning, my friend.
But a tourist, language important, accuracy important for a matter like this. No, you're not asking them to give up that which they already have. You're not this. It's important. They get so much. Yeah, I think it was a person from the opposition who mentioned, "Oh, annually this is how much they make off for the tax off for the gas." Which, okay, that's important to have one gauge. You're not asking them to forego any of that. What you are asking them to do is to forego the barter. Because what happens, the way our system is designed, when great global misfortune occurs and impacts the cost of acquisition of fuel, it represents a bonanza on top of what you already get annually off of fuel. You now get one win, you get one barter. Whoa! Because that is the way the fuel is taxed. So what you're asking them to do, to be very accurate, is not to give up when they don't have. They ask them if you take one L. They ask them if you not take one win. We just come at the expense of everybody else. That's the situation that we have, my brother. So if we not understand that, then it's easy for somebody come and make one point to me and say, man, you're asking for take one loss. No, you're not asking anybody to take a loss. You're asking them to say, hey, when barter come, you can't touch the barter because the barter they come at the price of everybody else. It come at the price of everybody else. This is nobody has designed, no government designs a budget that has a clause in it pending a calamity. I will be able to afford A, B, C, D, E, F, G because I will get a tax windfall. No such thing exists. So we have to be clear, because I think it's an intentional inaccuracy, where this insistence that what is going on here is that, man, how we are pay for this and how we pay for that if we not take the tax that they pump. Nobody know they say, if you take your tax, where they say is you can't continue to take tax off of fuel at one where they say at one rate where increase when the acquisition costs come higher. That's all you're saying. This is not a, it's like if you had a taxation where you'd say, for every gallon, this is how much I care, $4, whatever. I care $4. And you have a flat tax system on the fuel, then it means that, you no matter what the price goes up, we have to pay because that represents the acquisition increase, but we're not paying more taxes. And when the price goes up, we pay more taxes. It's not really that you are surrendering something. It's that you have designed a system that has a billion kind of jackpot benefit, and when they say no, you can't have that. When we face one survival issue, when and all of this is going to fall down on the everyday people. You have to have one. This is not rocket science. You have to have a point where you say, I can't take more taxes out of this calamity. I cannot do it. This argument that you are surrendering something is flawed. You're not. Your tax is still there. Every gallon that is sold, you get your tax. We're saying if you reach a point where party acquisition is just having a race to the ceiling, you have to cap it. You have to cap it. We understand you sit at the community, you know, it would make your job easier. It would make public expenditure and public administration and public management easier, but it's coming at a cost. And the cost is widespread suffering and distress that is lopsidedly going to fall on those who can least afford it. That's what we're saying here. You're not saying that it wouldn't be better for you to take all your winnings. We're saying it would be heartless to do when you're dealing with an economic crisis. This is an economic crisis. This is what we are faced. It's like if a hurricane the land and shore. When we come here on hurricane the land and shore, we get up every morning and we make sure that all the shopkeepers, they know, no, you can't take this opportunity for kind of price gouge for people. Because you know people have to buy, because they have to stock up. Then they prepare for a storm, and you have some shopkeepers who at that time will be opportunistic and try to take advantage. You say, no, you can't do that. We're in the middle of a crisis. We are legitimately in the middle of a crisis. $15.90 for a gallon of diesel is going to manifest itself in a pain right in all aspects of where you go and buy things. It's going to have an impact on employment. That's what that $15.90 means. Pain. Pain. Not just the persons who drive. It will be transmitted on all over in all manners of distress, and you cannot end this. It's a fraudulent argument to make that what you're asking a government to do is to take a L, to give up the tax. No, you're not, because you already, people cannot get around using fuel. We have to move. Products have to move. Services have to be delivered. We have to continue to survive. So people will continue to do what they have to do. But it's coming at a great cost. We're in a crisis, man. We're in a crisis. We have to start acting like it. We've been saying this for weeks. We've been saying this before the first price gone up. We've been having these conversations. This is, all alarm bells need to go off. All gauges are in red. We're overheating. We are overheating. Your vehicle overheat, you know, just continue to drive. You got to stop. You got to put in coolant. That's the reality on this Monday morning. We take a break and come back.
Watching WUB, and this is XTV. Big respect to our sponsors, 4 Point Security. Well, check this out right now. Domestic violence is out of control. So maybe we'll find out the people at 2 cents. How you feel about domestic violence as a woman?
Well, domestic violence always, that one terrible experience for a woman. I mean, the amount of fear you experience in the moment of these things. I mean, sometimes even if you get shot at, you would have tremble and feel that amount of fear. So imagine, you actually get physical contact. So I feel like domestic violence, women need to, love upon females and more.
Your 2 cents.
Yeah, my 2 cents.
Anybody and watch their stepfathers nowadays, because the stepfathers no care about no picnic. However, the stepfather man, now a piece of yeah, and that's it. They don't care about no picnic where no got.
I always wish people could resolve that thing, you know. You know, come man and woman is sweet when they get together, you know. So why you can't start it out? Why you have to end in a violence? I never start in a violence.
Now you're 2 cents.
That's my 2 cents.
All right.
Me, I got girls. I never hit none of my kids in my life. The mother do the discipline. Sometimes I even get mad at her when she's doing the discipline. But I don't think it's right for either a man or
Every great job starts at Brothers Habet with the best supplies and the right support, including free delivery on site, so you can focus on the job. Brothers Habet, working with contractors since 1983.
The success of my business means a lot to my family, especially my brother, because I'm continuing his legacy, making butterfly art collages. It was very hard for me to receive payments. I had to go directly to meet the person I'm purchasing from and who I'm selling to receive payment. Because I opened my business account with Atlantic Bank, now I can make and receive payments online, and this has made my job much easier.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progresso, Belize City, Orange Walk, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
This is a learning experience, and this event is all about you guys. Give it a chance. Maybe a competition you partake in sparks a passion in you you never knew you had. I had no idea how much I love coding until I actually explored it. We need more girls in IT.
In Belize, analysis supported by UNICEF highlights that girls between 15 and 24 use computers less frequently than boys. Regardless of whether they live in urban or rural areas, regardless of their family situation, their economic situation, or even their level of education. This gap matters because digital access today determines opportunities for tomorrow.
Be Like a Girl was never just about technology. It was about creating a space where girls can see themselves differently, where they can realize they don't have to shrink to fit into spaces. They can grow and transform them, where they understand that they are not just users of technology, but creators, innovators, and leaders.
Electricity is essential for everyday life, but behind every outlet, a lot is happening to bring you safe, reliable, and sustainable energy. Let's start at the beginning. Independent power producers across Belize generate electricity using a mix of renewable and non-renewable resources. Electricity travels across a network of high-voltage transmission lines capable of transmitting electricity across long distances. Electricity then reaches your nearest substation, where it is adjusted to a lower voltage, making it safe to travel on the distribution lines you see in your community. From there, electricity makes its final journey from the distribution lines to your home, providing you with safe and reliable power when you need it. We continue to serve you.
When the job calls, you need a truck that works as hard as you do. Strong, reliable, and built for the load. The Jack Freight Truck gets the job done. From the lumberyard to the work site, power your business with confidence. I can count on Jack to get the job done right.
A Mandela notice. Advertisers, sellers, and readers are advised that there will be no online Tuesday issue of the newspaper for Tuesday, April 28th. There will only be the Friday issue, which will hit the streets on Thursday, April 30, 2026. Happy Labor Day from the management and staff of Cremandala.
All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Mose, Hyde in the house. And again, we have been reporting. You can see a lot of our reports on online social media feeds. Also, we want to promote the fact that you can get our WhatsApp news channel, XTV WhatsApp news channel. It's a very effective way of staying current with what's going on. A lot of our updates are there immediately. It's you get real first class news service. That's what it is. It represents you get the real the fancy seats in the front of the plane kind of service when it comes to news and news content from our news team. So if you have not done so as yet, we urge you to just look for it and make it happen. Krem, good morning, WB.
Good morning, Moses Sanderfoot.
Good morning, Mr.
I think it was in the news that there were 3 options offered to the government in connection with the bus problem. 1, the government would remove the taxation structure that would cause the increase. 2, they would give a subsidy. Or 3, they would allow a price increase. And the government chose the 3rd. Now, having chosen that, they then decided that one set of people would charge less than the other set of people. But the cost out there is the same for everybody, isn't it?
Yes.
So that in itself became, to start with, they were going to push their hands into people's pockets
all over again. Well, they are constantly pushing their hands into your pockets, but they were going to push it deeper now. And then they decided, but not only that, they were going to let one set of people, by law, be able to collect more than the other set of people to offset the cost of the same fuel. It's not as though they are selling the fuel at a different price to each of these set of people, right or wrong?
Right.
It's the same price. So why? But the tragedy is that they went for an increased cost. So whatever little money was left in people's pockets was going to be pulled out. You see, Mose, me personally, I don't agree that you're not asking them to back up on the taxation originally, only the new increase. It is the original taxation that our people allowed them to get away with.
Yeah.
I keep speaking about oranges. Oranges were 8 for $1 up to about, maybe about 2 years ago. I don't know the exact date, but definitely not 10 years ago. And then it went to 6 for $1. Well, now it's at 3 for $1. So to get the vitamin C out of an orange, and they are not big at that, it's costing you 33 cents. Well, 33 and a third cents to get it. So immediately your populace will not be able to provide the vitamin C they need for their immune system to resist sickness. They won't be able to provide that most. So it's a calamitous situation prior to the present situation. But our people allowed this to happen. Our people take money from the politicians and vote. They had a referendum on the ownership of this country. They were prepared to sell their vote. So they have no control over the bad actions of the political class in this country. None. Because they are acting, they have sold their birthright. That's what they have done. And so the calamitous situation that was already created and which was allowed by the populace has now become worse. It's being worse now. So I don't know that I agree that we need to sit down as a people and figure out if we are going to allow our government to be run off our backs. That is what they are doing. And I'm totally incapable of providing the services the nation needs. And the cake, you see, the national pie hasn't gotten bigger. As a matter of fact, it will not get bigger given the international crisis.
I think I just want to.
Where was Belize when South Africa went to the court? Where was CARICOM? I can personally tell you because I wrote CARICOM. They were nowhere there. This, what we are now going through, you think it's finished yet? It's not finished yet. This is because at stake now are sovereignty, independence, vanity, pride, imperial pride. All of this is being thought out now, right in the government, in the state of Hyde. All of this is but that is not the beginning. That started when it started long before, but in the present crisis, we can put at October the 7th, 2023.
Yeah.
In the Palestinian land. That's where this present portion of the crisis has been long going.
So the only thing I would want to clarify is that I agree with you. I would say I worded my point inadequately. I am an advocate that the tax structure as it's presently constituted on fuel is extremely unpleasant, unfair, and I think it has to be gotten rid of. The But I'm trying to just say that it is dishonest to word the response to what people have been requesting, and so I was just my position was just confined to that, to the negotiations, to say
I understand that
that is not what I am advocating. So I think, but I would also want to put to you, Ms. Cowie, that I accept your point about the selling of the votes and all that, but isn't a part of the problem that I guess we have to take individual responsibility for it, that we do not, many people, I would say most people, are not even aware of how they're being taxed at the fuel pump. So like we have tried to do some of the breakdown, but
yeah, they're not aware.
They're not aware that they're not aware that how obscene it is to tax on the tax. It's an obscenity. Like
our people have allowed themselves to be stripped naked, and they don't even know they are naked and being mocked and made fun of. They don't even know it. I might come back to this orange and banana crisis. Bananas are $1. They were 9 and 10 once and then 8. But the oranges are the worst. They're the worst. Limes, which everybody needs most. To clean meat, we use limes. When you have a cold, you use limes. We use limes a lot in this country. So it helps, it's essential for disinfecting. Well, one lime is now 50 cents. And I don't see it going down. What gets me is the national tie remains the same. Any little growth, you can barely see it. And yet you're asking to be allowed to take a bigger portion of a pie that remains the same size, out of which people have to feed their children, clothe their children, educate their children, house their children, medicate their children, and themselves. That's what people have to do out of this little piece of the pie they have. Do you agree with me on that, Mose?
I think that I get the point you're making, is that we have a system where the tax revenue is being expanded upon without any expansion of the economy itself, any expansion of it's just being you're just taking a greater bite out of a calamity.
Exactly. And remember, it's not going to get bigger. Isn't it this weekend that another attempt was made on Mr. Trump's life?
Yeah.
Well, this isn't going to get better. America is a country in the first stage of civil war. Whether you all want to see it, whether the Americans want to see it, I don't care. They are in the first stage of a civil war. And that war is not going to get better because the calamities out there, they are worsening the calamities out there that will now come home to roost in the United States of America. It is that serious. So if what I don't understand is this, Mose. When you study the growth figures for the national income, they haven't grown when you measure the population growth. And you're not able, you have people squatting all over the place, half connected to electricity, same thing to water. So that tells you that your society is poorly structured, very poorly structured. And how you're going to get better. Where are the tourists all going to come now from? From the United, they are our primary market. They are going to come now. If the United States is attacking boats, Mose, in the broad Pacific, Indo-Pacific, and we already have them attacking boats in the Caribbean, in the Atlantic region. Didn't they see, let's go with oil, Venezuelan oil in the North Atlantic there? So the insurance alone, forget about everything else, is going to go up. As a matter of fact, insurance companies may come to refuse to offer coverage because the insurance companies are going to confront that there are world at war. And in war, how will you be able to predict for safety against risk factors? You can't in a state of war. And don't you agree, Mose, that what we are witnessing in the maritime region is a total expansion of a war scenario? Would you agree with that or not?
Well, it would be a level of aggression and hostility. I guess they got technical definitions of war, so I don't know you call it a war. It's military aggression, and I thought where you might have gone with that is to say connect it to people traveling, because people are going to be nervous about traveling to regions where you are creating a level of bad taste in people. Like it's one thing to be high and mighty and do what you want and nobody is holding you accountable and the leadership of countries not responding or speaking truth to power, but down on the ground people are losing loved ones that you have treated as if though they didn't deserve even to be considered as human beings. They were not given a day in court. They have been judged and
They've been judged during an execution
in one entity. I know you have a situation where it's like, not to try play like we're so informed or anything, but like when you're reading the news or what's happening around the world, like I can't match it to how we are feeling here in Belize about where we are. When you have people talking about jet fuel scarcity is resulting in flights being cancelled in Europe, like
200% jet fuel is going up in one place.
You think
300% airlines closing down.
You think people will be traveling at the same pace that they were traveling last year if that's the new reality in 20? These things impact. You are going to feel, you are going to get punches in areas you didn't know you have nerve endings. That's the reality that we have going on right now.
You know, this is where I have a problem with leadership in the Caribbean and Latin America. Well, you cannot conduct government business for your own little populace as though you lived in a bubble somewhere way out in Jupiter or Mars and are totally unaffected by what happens on planet Earth. How are you going to do that? This is where we are living. And this is why you should strive not to be a better country so that you can then have control of your actions, stand up in the United Nations, call for things in the Security Council, visit countries all over the world. This is the thing we decide for because this can cause trouble for us. But you cannot do that if the only way you survive is standing on the street corner. You cannot do that. And this is what the Caribbean has grasped. The Caribbean was at the center of the European colonial expansion into the Western Hemisphere. We have paid the highest prices, not only in slavery, in the very ownership. One day you're Spanish owned, next day you're French owned. You didn't know from one day to the next what your nationality was going to be. Wouldn't that alone create a terrible insecurity that's generationally transferred? Of course. So the Caribbean, and I live in Belize, so I wanted to believe stepping forward. What did you all vote on the barrier? We don't even know if you were even there. We have, in this country, what you have, the political class do their own thing as though they are running a country for not the rest of us because we all live there. And we express no particular interest in finding out what they are doing. And if you ask or I ask, then we become troublemakers because we are going to interrupt their peaceful passage. So this is at the root of the problem is the division populace. The boss people offered 3 alternatives. Wouldn't the logical one have been Mose to remove the tax? Because if you pay something, you have to find money to subsidize, right or wrong?
Mm-hmm.
So why are you going that route? And if you give them the choice to increase, then people are going to become poorer. So the logical one is to reduce the tax. Reduce the tax. Reduce your salary. Start with you all. You can't call on a nation to take measures of restraint and constraint and everything on. If you're not doing it, you all are not doing it. A man called the radio last week, I think, and tell us about all the vehicles that are floating all over the place, running up. I wasn't it last week? Here, there, and everywhere, using up the fuel that we have to pay for. Look at the amount of problems that have been created that end up a financial burden on the taxpayers of this country. Land had to be returned, we have to pay this cost. They were even willing to go to court with the people from, what's the name? But no, that was BTS. But government owned. They were willing to go to court, spend, was it $23 million more?
That's what's alleged.
Can you imagine that? You know how many children could be educated with that $23 million? No. Something is really wrong. And it's not going to get
just look at
get that in your head.
To just look at the bus situation, it has to be pointed out that they have created one situation where the government has a bus company, right? And that put them in a position where, when I had the bus owners, independent bus owners last week on the show, it's like, where in the history have we seen where a government is able to have restraint when it comes to a situation like this? So I get what they're trying to do with getting the bus owners to form a company. The problem is that government has a skin in the game. They are deeply intertwined with this new entity, and because they're intertwined and they have been able to get some of the bus owners to buy into that, they have now created this adversarial situation between that group, because they made certain promises to that group to get them in on this thing, and now you have these people who are operating who have chosen not to join in.
You see, Moses, by bringing those people on air last week, I thought, I hadn't paid much attention to this. I thought that everybody was forced to join this national bus thing. That's what I thought. So it's last week now that I learned, oh, they are not all in this national thing. And why are they not? They must see something that's dangerous to them that they didn't join. You know? That's what I thought. And then I was even more taken aback when I heard, I checked this, that some of the members, or all of the members, I'm not sure which one it is, in the new government-owned bus company, they brought their own vehicles in with them. I wondered if I had heard right, but I checked and I was told that's what I heard. Well, I thought you said that all these vehicles on the road needed to be pitched on a fire set to them because they're no good. That's what I thought. But no, some of the same old vehicles are now part of the assets of the new company. So what was that all about? Didn't you understand when you brought in that?
I think one of the comments, the comment that was made by Brother Dean Flowers from the Public Service Union when he called in is that there is not enough transparency as to exactly what the rules of engagement, the articles of association, and all the inner working of this NBC of this. We know this company has been formed, but we do not know. And again, I think the independent Botswanans are saying they want to use freedom of information, but we do not know the details of this thing. We do not.
Well, didn't we pass law where you can't go get the details that you were once able to get on any
There's
company?
a limitation. There's a limitation, for sure.
And they knew jolly well why they passed that law. It was for all of these reasons. Once you by law had the right to go and demand copies of the memorandum and articles of association of any company. You were not constrained by law. You can't get it. No, you can't get it. It was very secretive. And we stood by, because I heard a few people call the radio, we stood by and that never bothered me at all. So now we don't know. Well, as I tell you, I was taken aback. I thought, so they have their own vehicles. So then, what was that really all about?
Yeah, well, I know you have one.
You didn't know that discrepancy? You didn't know this?
To be honest with you, again, I guess like many people, the whole movement to creating the company, yes, we did have a couple sessions and we tried to get clarifications, but I still don't have satisfactory type understanding of what that is. I don't know what that is, and maybe they would have been able to find smooth sailing for a while, except here comes Strait of Mose, and now the whole, it's like
why they are allowed, and my next question is, why are they allowed to charge 19 something cents a mile? Is that it, correct?
No, they're saying that they're not. They say that they're not. But I think the minister said on press conference on Saturday that they are not. But the allegations from the independent Botswanans is that they are. Now, I don't know.
They are not what?
That they're not charging 19 cents per mile.
Okay. Oh.
But it's all messy. It's all like again, we don't know what was used for equity. We don't know how are they able, like one brother called in and said, how can somebody not be concerned about the price of diesel and the other set is concerned about the price of diesel? How can they be so immune to the reality of the diesel going to where it is? Like, is there some kind of funding there that makes them immune? Like, what's going on here?
Well, I agree 100%. And what my position is, if you're going to have a company and we're having the same prices and the thing is costing everybody the same price, then how are you going to have a differentiated scale in pricing of this charge to the people on the bus? To start with, they don't have money to pay the 15 cents, much less than 19 cents, much less whatever. But you all are charging that. It's very a tragic situation.
You know, if we didn't have
school buses and the school children, they pay. What do they pay?
They varies. So you have some buses that give a kind of a discount to school children. I think there is some kind of special rate that they have in place. But Ms. Corey,
that's out of the goodwill of the people?
Well, I think both. I think there's a rate for school children, and I think there's also a bit of discount that goes in. Some bus operators, I know, for example, police officers are allowed to travel for free on some buses, for many buses. But Ms. Corey, we have to go back to the fact that how do you get up one morning and decide you are going to try this again after what happened the last time we tried to? The last time we tried to do.
I don't know how you were not You were born what year?
71. 71.
71. Well, by 71, I was traveling this country already. So I traveled this country on truck, boat, horse, walk, all kinds of things. But I can tell you that we had an excellent bus system until it came apart. It wasn't brilliantly shining Greyhound buses, no. But they ran well. They got you from point. Man, Batty, I used to come to Batty at about 3:30 in the morning. I'd get up, I'd leave my house, and my taxi brings me for me to be on the bus out to Corozal at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I could buy my ticket in advance and all of that. You can't do any of that now. You don't know where to buy. There has been a deterioration. And sometimes I wonder most if it has to do with the migrant population, that because they don't know English and all of that, but they just take what is given to them and go along with it. I don't know. But I'm telling you, we had a way better bus service than we do now.
In my time, you had 3 terminals. You had Batis, you had Novelos, you had Gilhari. And
yes, 3 terminals.
All 3 of them had a ticketing system.
All 3 of them had what?
A ticketing system.
Yes, you had a ticketing system. You could buy a ticket way in advance, know your seat. Nothing, you can't do that. No, you don't. Well, I don't know if it has been solved in the last couple of years, but up until the last time, I can't sign out. I have to arrive there and I stay on the bus. That's if I get a seat when I get there to get on the bus. So now, imagine we've gone backward. No, something is wrong. Bye-bye.
All right.
Almost now get better. Become a truck. He ain't changing. Bye-bye.
All right, we got to go to break. We'll be back. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes.
This is a learning experience, and this event is all about you guys. Give it a chance. Maybe a competition you partake in sparks a passion in you never knew you had. I had no idea how much I love coding until I actually explored it. We need more girls in IT.
In Belize, analysis supported by UNICEF highlights that girls between 15 and 24 use computers less frequently than boys. Regardless of whether they live in urban or rural areas, regardless of their family situation, their economic situation, or even their level of education. This gap matters because digital access today determines opportunities for tomorrow.
Be Like a Girl was never just about technology. It was about creating a space where girls can see themselves differently, where they can realize they don't have to shrink to fit into spaces. They can grow and transform them, where they understand that they are not just users of technology, but creators, innovators, and leaders.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, Give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Welcome to Design Depot, where you'll find premium quality products from trusted brands, all in one place. Visit us today for quality products, expert service, and the brands you trust. Design Depot, all in one place.
Have a vision? We've got what you need. From idea to install, Brothers Habet. All your building needs under one roof.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progresso, Belize City, Orange Walk, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
A Mandala notice. Advertisers, sellers, and readers are advised that there will be no online Tuesday issue of the newspaper for Tuesday, April 28th. There will only be the Friday issue, which will hit the streets on Thursday, April 30, 2026. Happy Labor Day from the management and staff of Cremandala.
All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Yeah, it's not pleasant to drive or to be coming down from north, coming down to city or wherever it is you're going. We keep getting reports that the roadblocks continue. We are told that, at least again, these are not confirmed reports, but just based on what we have been seeing online, is that the bositos in Bella Vista, Holland, have also on strike. We are told that the Boom Junction has blocked. Where is that? Holland? That's the Boom cutoff? Okay, so major shutting down of the nation's one of the nation's premier arteries, Philip Golson Highway, the Belize Bus Association, after a process of back and forth where last week there seemed to be some energy that there could be a resolution. There was some acceptance about what would be the new fares. As I think Ms. Corey pointed out, the government chose to make the adjustment with fares. But by the time the new bus fares were put out, those were causing very serious alarm and outrage in the community amongst commuters, to which then the BBA said no, those were not agreed to, and they did not know anything about the fares, and that really just caused the temperature in the room to go up really fast, so higher and faster. So by Saturday there was a breakdown. The BBA no-showed at a meeting that they were supposed to have, and then subsequent back and forth negotiations have resulted in things not going well, and the BBA has essentially shut down their runs and are protesting primarily on the Philip Golson Highway. Krem, good morning, WB. Good morning.
Hello, morning.
Morning.
My brother, how are you?
Oh, what's going on, man? I drink one very delicious coconut water, beets, ginger. I mean, everything in this good.
That's something good, but
yeah.
Right now, out of road, they look good. Mose, make I tell you something, Mose.
Yes, sir.
You see this problem with the bus people and the government?
Mm-hmm.
I deal with the bus people, but by the end of the day, I don't know that everybody will follow their position there. Have to down to some limited agreement where they not agree to, and then they have to go back to the table. If the bus people are strike, they have to go one country. Go along, yes, I will agree, it affects some people, but sometimes you have to affect some people to get the message across. You understand? Mm-hmm. Because when you take the bus, you can't grab anything with on the table. These are known for that. I make them tell everyone, hold on to this piece of food right now, and 2-3 months from now, yeah, we are starting that problem. When 2-3 months from now come, back to square one. You know, so tired of one, once you back out the road, people got this ship about school and work. Yeah, and you work, you know.
Yeah.
The lady tell you, no, the lady, but his voice tell you it won't get worse. Diesel at $15.
16.
Regular 13.
16, brother. $15.90. If you say $15, listen to me. I don't know where you may do. When I used to call it in a school in a match, round off.
Yeah.
Round off. Breads, nobody round off $15.90 to $15. Make it be real,
yeah,
right?
Well, call it 16 then.
Make it be precise and say $15.90, also known as 16.
$16.
Yes.
But then we have to have a face mode. This conversation, me done We done be a conversation last year. They cannot follow up. And believe you have to get to the point now with that. I tell you, listen to me, brother. It's good for me and bad for me. Because it's good for me because they give me a chance to exercise myself and walk more. Stretch my legs, which not to say it's important. It's bad for me because sometimes I walk so far and I have to give a ride, and right now nobody will give a free ride, Mose. Nobody. They're in a family. They tell us straight, but right now, I tell you, right now, people look.
But you're right, you know, because just last week, when was it, Friday, my good friend Wilmer here in a town, and the man asked me if I came on a couple of places. So I tell the man, I'm very honest with the man, I tell him that respect, but you have to dash one lead thing in the tank because and that before the thing gone to 1590. And I don't tell the man, boy, something I have to drop in the tank because I know like that and that my body, but the reality right now is every time I move, you have to be that. It can't be casual. Oh, make I go just know I have to be related to something purposeful, something relevant, something necessary, because that debt that the pump.
I say this and I will say it again. Believe in finding within yourself and stand up and park their vehicle. Yes, I get blast from some people there in the chat when I put it on Facebook, but by the end of the day, some of them tell me to take crazy guys the way 8 miles and the way Hyde. Yes, I understand all that. You understand? But the reality is, you have to make one serious step. Religion take everything for granted and everything lightly. That's what we paper with debt. You understand? And we are getting worse. We got problem in the police department. We got problem in the tax department. We got problem in the social security, in the government. You know what I'm saying? She said, I asked you a question in our interview. When was the last time anyone of our high official here jump on a bus and sit down and experience what every day people experience? Never let take it into consideration and think it over and come up with a better solution and a plan. But when you're not in that position, that like when they say, who feels it knows it, who don't feel it don't know it, then that's the reality. The reason I have to, and I tell you notice, I don't want to be hear this. You got this new generation will ready to step up and rally and make good march. But the thing where they are kind of hard because the elders are cowards. So the new generation, they will look up to the elders there no more. You get what I'm saying? They're not be losing at no more. Because everybody want to come to the table. Everybody wants to sit down at the table. Huh? And when you sit down at the table, until you have no solution. Just back and forth because everybody right. But I say this, and I'll say this again. When you have a leadership, we could just stand up and watch things happen and not do nothing about it. Man, listen to me. If you even come and tell me one lie, that here's one, I can't give it right over to our work and give me the time. If you even tell me a lie, we are working that. But when you ignore me, that's what we call disrespect with. You turn your back away. The same people I'm talking about used to rally and march. So if you can't, I know you're not fear. But if they somebody and they can't come to a solution.
Listen.
Come on, man.
Listen.
These people are people.
Listen.
These means and you name all that this and they can't come to a solution. So.
Listen to me. Hey, when say mouth say anything, right? And you could always tell one person, boy, I think I should have carried back that money. That no good money. I think I should have carried back that money. And easy for when you give advice, to make your advice and your recommendations be intelligent and principle based. But when that you got the money in your hand,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
That one difficult thing for you to tell yourself, "Why I have to carry back this money." So we have to keep on saying that in some countries in the world, the cost of fuel where they pay is such that the base span, the natural increase were unavoidable. Every country in the world right now, the price of fuel has gone up. Unless they make their own one and got their own thing, okay, but you got to use exceptions. But overall, you got this conversation that go on in a lot of countries because nobody want to pay more for one thing than paying, especially for fuel. Because fuel are not luxury, fuel are production. If you're about the business, if you're about doing things and try move and you're about being industrial and what have you. But here in Belize, our conversation is not only about that. Nobody can say, nobody is saying, I have not heard anybody say, you see the new acquisition increase, we want the government pay for that. Like, that is not what the argument is. The argument is fine. Acquisition costs gone up. We will have to pay that. But when the acquisition part go up, the way how you tax the fuel means that you now want tax on top of the acquisition gone up. So this the bonanza. This one happy day. We got one tax system for fuel. We part war in the Middle East is something for the people in public administration to celebrate. Money they come. You can't have one sovereign state with part the leadership of the country and the management, the managers of the public finance are happy when you have energy crisis in the world. It's extremely grim. It's extremely unpleasant that the dynamics where we create. Yes, acquisition costs go up. We are enough have to pay. But what would it say is you cannot continue to have a system where that means no that the payday, the Strait of Hormuz gets shut down, then the government, the champagne day. You can't have that because that they come at the expense of everybody else. And you say, oh, well, we have to pay the bills, that we are the biggest single employer, that we got wage bill for pay, we got that for pay, we got all manners of things for pay. And so you can't, the whole government can survive if we don't have this money. So essentially what they tell me is that the government, they go to Obiama and they pray for war in the Middle East. Because that whole no could pay the bill. That uno need more war? How could that be a sustainable way to run one nation's finance? That's ridiculous, man. If you say, well, they're not, you say, okay, GST at 12.5%, income tax that you have to pay that. This is my tax system, and the pay unto Caesar what is due to Caesar. But this is a unique situation. You have one reality report, them and charge the duty, then charge the environmental tax, and I forget the other tax one in charge. And then the calculation for GST on top of that includes, meaning that like if, like let's say I say, you go to Panada shop, because I have to try. Let's say you go to Panada shop, and my agreement with you to use my building for run your Panada shop. And my deal with you is, okay, I want to charge you one rate for every Panades where you sell. So for every Panades where you sell, that one flat, 5 cents I forget. And then I want also charge you 5% rental tax for the use of my structure. What that means now is if I say to you that my 5% where I want charge, no one be pande where you sell the panades for. My percentage where I want charge £1 where you sell the panades for, plus the flat rate where you pay me back. I want then put that together, add that up, then I want charge you the percentage. So I charge you percentage per one fee where you the pay. That the crux of the matter at the pump.
That's ridiculous.
But that is how it's set up, brother. This the price at the pump is not a conversation about where we do about the acquisition nightmare, the acquisition cost nightmare. The conversation at the pump is not about the war in the Middle East. The conversation about the pump is to say, man, listen, we are reasonable people. We could see news. A lot of we not study news, but we're aware. Why? If you got war in the Middle East, I don't know our country that's how we get real. We had only 1 or 2 buckets, but then they're done. Right now, for real, the energy where we got, they come from far. They come through from them, Bali, from them deserts staying in the Middle East, and we have to get them there. And somebody they stop them there from flow, boy, that's bad news for we because acquisition costs, insurance fees going up, and we know that we are facing reality at the pump. But that reality there is that on top of that acquisition increase, we got about 3 taxes where we put on top of that. And you can't tell me that when people sit down and they make them budget, that then a budget for 2 or 3 oil crisis every year to make sure that we could get some unforeseen millions. So that when they say that we don't want Bolido country, literally we are. Our budget requires winning the Bolido. Because that is the equivalent of winning the Bolido at the national governmental level, is to have a calamitous situation going on out there in the Middle East, and we end up going, we got the price going up $16, $15.90 for diesel is crippling to an economy that not just the actual taking out of the money for pay for the gallon. It is what will then be the long-term results of that. You will have one level of unemployment where that one cause. There's a level of increased scarcity, increased sufferation. The sufferation index, if there's such a thing, it should be invented. Sufferation index goes up when price of fuel goes up. So you can't just say, well, lucky me. And yes, let us be honest. The government said we forego about $60 million worth of tax and we could have get extra. We just say, man, listen. If let's say you say, boy, if the acquisition costs go up over, carry the price over $12, nothing over $12 we want to take no tax pan. Nothing over $12 or nothing over $10 we want to take no tax pan. Uno still get one crazy amount.
That's why I tell you, Mose. I tell you, they could figure it out. They could figure it out.
But it's hard, like I say, easy for we say. It's easy for we say. But when a man see the extra million they come, all the financial sector and all the people who are up in this, and we got the bills and we don't like that, we don't have to pay more. But
and that because when they talk about the issue, the boss, I didn't tell him about the issue of domestic yet.
All right, but that's another talking now, another call.
I didn't tell him about my we find the picnic playing one. You know?
That one there, yeah, painful thing.
Mama, if you tell me, Mama find it, Mama not stop, you know. Mama find the picnic by your own, you know. Mama put a picnic shirt, I feel the energy, I find the picnic.
Rough.
You understand?
Rough.
Me say, young still listen.
Rough. Brother, I gotta go to break. I'll be back. Yeah.
All right.
When the job demands more, Milwaukee Power Tools are designed to handle the toughest jobs on the construction site. If it's speed, durability, and performance you need, Milwaukee is the perfect choice. For unstoppable power at an unbeatable price, make it Milwaukee. Nothing but heavy duty. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
This is a learning experience, and this event is all about you guys. Give it a chance. Maybe a competition you partake in sparks a passion in you never knew you had. I had no idea how much I love coding until I actually explored it. We need more girls in IT.
In Belize, analysis supported by UNICEF highlights that girls between 15 and 24 use computers less frequently than boys. Regardless of whether they live in urban or rural areas, regardless of their family situation, their economic situation, or even their level of education. This gap matters because digital access today determines opportunities for tomorrow.
Be Like a Girl was never just about technology. It was about creating a space where girls can see themselves differently, where they can realize they don't have to shrink to fit into spaces. They can grow and transform them, where they understand that they are not just users of technology, but creators, innovators, and leaders.
Altoona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lost a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helped supported our business, giving us the opportunity to get the POS machine. Now with the POS machine, we are able to do more sales, and that will, also bring more, finance to our families.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Whether you are a busy person or stuck in traffic or having an adverse or very demanding circumstance, tension builds up, causing you to be stressed out. Stress attacks everyone, anytime, any age. And stress is a killer. Palm City? It's best to be alive than dead. So visit Freetown Drugstore to get options to relieve stress and to relax your mind.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you today?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay, after that, help you out right now. When I this daily, for 10 days, I am good after that, okay?
Okay.
Freetown Drugstore, 28 Freetown Road, where you are better off alive than dead. Freetown Drugstore, telephone 223-2876.
A Mandela notice. Advertisers, sellers, and readers are advised that there will be no online Tuesday issue of the newspaper for Tuesday, April 28th. There will only be the Friday issue, which will hit the streets on Thursday, April 30, 2026. Happy Labor Day from the management and staff of Cremandala.
All right, welcome back to the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. I'm trying here to reach our news editor, Marisol Amaya, for a report. Good morning, Marisol.
Hi, good morning, Mose.
For those who don't have XTV WhatsApp news channel, they don't know that you've been up before the rooster started to crow this morning, giving content, covering this big respect, Marisol. But tell me what's going on.
So actually, I sent you an audio. It's actually an audio interview conducted just moments ago with the Prime Minister, because there's been an agreement reached. Apparently, there were back channel talks. We're going to describe them like that. At least that's how they've been described to me, with the Prime Minister and one of the representatives for the members of the Belize Bus Association. And so it appears that it includes a $3 fuel subsidy, but also there will be what the Prime Minister described as a minimal increase in bus fares. And the meeting to discuss what that minimal bus fare will be, that's supposed to happen later today. And the Prime Minister is still expected to make an announcement later this evening or this afternoon, outlining, because it's my understanding that it's not only going to be in relation to the bus association. At least that's what Dr. Louis Zabane hinted at that Saturday press conference. So for now, based on this agreement that's been reached moments ago, the blockade at Tower Hill is supposed to end. I know that. And I know that our colleagues from CTV3 were on the ground, and that's what they confirmed to me, that an agreement was reached. Also, there were attempts elsewhere, I think in the Belize district at the Burrell Boom Junction, where it appears a bus driver, was detained by police. They charge supposedly, or it's over obstructing the free flow of traffic. Those are the latest updates that we have. You could ask me other questions, but then you could play that insert from the Prime Minister.
Sure. So we anticipate that if it's not yet moving, that very shortly traffic is going to be open on the Philip Golson Highway at the different junctions, in particular Tower Hill, where it has been blocked.
Yes. Now it's going to be interesting what happens after, how the commuters themselves react to any increase. I am not sure if the commuters will be amenable to accepting an increase any at all. We know that the price lists that were published on what would it have been early Friday morning, those increases were huge, right? So I don't know, it's left to be seen, because we heard reports that commuters in the north wanted to organize to demonstrate. And I'm not sure if it's that the government also heard those rumors, which is why they chose to move in the direction that they did, to scrap those fare increases and go the route of the fuel subsidy.
Okay. So the Prime Minister is going to be doing an address of sorts today?
Yeah, my understanding is that it's going to be pre-recorded.
And it's going to, is there a time when that you think that?
He said later in the day, so it's going to be sometime this afternoon, I would think.
And
more closer to evening.
Okay, all right. Well, obviously this story is fluid. If we just look at the last 3 or 4 days or so, where it has been back and forth, and at times a bit of a whiplash. So I guess we'll just continue to monitor it, no?
Definitely.
All right. Get some rest, Marisol. Wishful thinking. Bye bye.
Don't forget to play that audio.
I will as soon as you get it. So this is an interview you've done with the Prime Minister, Honorable John Vicente.
Yes.
Okay.
Moments ago.
All right.
Yeah,
let me get that audio on then. All right. Let me do this.
Basically, what I did, one of the members sent a message. Frieza, if you wanted to speak with me, I called him. We had a very brilliant discussion. And what we have agreed to is that one, that the government, which we had told them since yesterday, that we'll give them the $3 subsidy. He is saying that even without, they still see the need for a small rate increase. I said was then that we will agree to a small rate increase, but they need to sit down with the officials at the Ministry of Transport to discuss what that rate increase is going to be. It's going to be a minimal rate increase. And three, that the Abbas representative from my office to be at those meetings. I have agreed to have Ian Courtney to represent me, so we'll be sitting down in those meetings. Unfortunately, when they were to clear up the highway immediately, and I'm told by a reporter was on the ground that that's what they've done, huh?
You're happy with this outcome?
Well, I would have preferred that we did not have to go through all of this to close or to shut down the highway, so inconvenience the commuters for a few hours. All of that could have been avoidable. We've been negotiating in good faith for the past 2 days. But that's what happened, and well, here we are. No?
And how soon will those meetings happen?
Today.
Okay,
I expect it's going to be before midday.
And you will still make an announcement, recorded live?
I'll say recorded announcement.
Okay.
It's being recorded statement, but they'll be later in the day now.
Okay, so that was a short interview that our news editor, Marisol Amaya, did just moments ago with the Prime Minister of the country, disclosing agreement that they've been able to put together through back channel negotiations that will end, based on what is expected and what has been agreed to, will end the disruption on the highway. We'll keep monitoring. We'll take a break and then we'll come back.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progresso, Belize City, Orange Walk, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
Maria's was planned to open in 2020, and that's when COVID came. I thought the dream was dead. People would come to my house, they would purchase the coffees from there. That gave me the little confidence, like, okay, I could do this. Atlantic Bank, of course, helped me take the next step. Once I had their support, it was smooth sailing from there. This business is my life. It's literally what provides my family with food and employment. I employ 3 family members, so it's really everything for us.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Every great job starts at Brothers Habet. With the best supplies and the right support, including free delivery on site, so you can focus on the job. Brothers Habet, working with contractors since 1983.
A Mandala notice. Advertisers, sellers, and readers are advised that there will be no online Tuesday issue of the newspaper for Tuesday, April 28th. There will only be the Friday issue, which will hit the streets on Thursday, April 30, 2026. Happy Labor Day from the management and staff of Mandala.
And that wraps it up for us today. With help and strength, I come back tomorrow morning for the Tuesday edition of the Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We always give thanks to the team. Larry G at Creme Radio, at XTV Cliff is the glue, and directing this morning, Mr. Harlan Wagner. Hope you guys have a great Monday. As always, stand strong, stand firm. For now, we're gone!
People get victimized, let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, we gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, voice of opinion and place your calling. Get up, make every day count up. Wasted people, do your part, play a role, get where you need to. Look and tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's not so it no matter even if you're at home. Just call in, double your bed. Wake up, Belize, another day is here. Wake up, Belize, we gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, voice of opinion and place your calling, double your bed.